Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's joint webinar hosted by Duck Creek Technologies and NewgenONE Software. My name is Chuck Sicard. I'm the Partner Marketing Lead here at Duck Creek, and today's session focuses on a powerful theme, amplifying the power of Duck Creek through intelligent content and communication management. We'll cover how insurers can enhance the Duck Creek ecosystem through intelligent content services, AI-driven communication management, and agentic automation, ultimately improving efficiency, compliance, and customer experience across the policy lifecycle. Joining us today are our esteemed speakers, Ritesh Varma, Global Head Business Solutions and Consulting at NewgenONE, and Zach May, Solution Consulting Manager at Duck Creek Technologies. So let's begin. Duck Creek is a modern policy admin system. It has all of the factors of policy built into it. How does the NewgenONE content management system add value to the Duck Creek system? For this, let's start with the discussion with Zach.
Thank you, Chuck. And hello, everyone. So you're absolutely right, Chuck. So Duck Creek policy is a full end-to-end policy administration system. Really, while the first version of the Duck Creek policy admin system first came to market over 20 years ago now, which is hard to believe, it's really just been in a constant cycle of evolution and modernization, and really being continuously, changed and upgraded to just meet the demands of the insurance industry and the tech industry today. Duck Creek policy was actually one of the first property and casualty policy systems that entered the cloud and SaaS space 10, 15 years ago, and where really Duck Creek policy has really excelled from a technology standpoint now is what we refer to as active delivery. Active delivery just simply means we've kind of gotten to the point of being able to eliminate system upgrades for customers who can get to the most recent version of Duck Creek policy. So gone are the days of major system upgrades, which can be complex, time inducing, costly, and here are the days of continuous updates on a 2-week cycle. So truly, just I think a game changer in the property and casualty policy admin space, true SaaS, and a really major value add for our clients in the market. In addition, Duck Creek Policy's platform architecture helps our carriers, helps our clients being able to launch new products faster. So really bringing a lot of tools and content to the table, and really helping carriers and very much of a speed to market approach, which is of course extremely important to stay competitive and to grow the business. And then Duck Creek offers a variety of line of business specific content that's just going to help carriers be able to scale, to grow, to expand quickly into additional markets where they might not be today, to really just achieve the gross KPIs and metrics that they're after. Now, I think where NewgenONE, the partnership with NewgenONE and Duck Creek comes to the table is, we have partnered together in the market now for the last number of years to support, our joint clients, to support the markets in areas such as, customer communication management, so really helping the critical communications process within the policy lifecycle, as well as helping on the enterprise content management, so all the important document management, document storage, indexing, critical components of keeping files and documents in a nice centralized place.
Right. So, Zach, absolutely, and it's actually a pleasure to coordinate with Duck Creek in order to make the documents so very useful and enhance it. So, insurance today or was always very document intensive, and documents play a very critical role throughout the life cycle, be it the onboarding process, the servicing process, the claims, and a lot of content from these documents need to be actually used during the entire life cycle so that they can be processed in the right particular way and they can be worked upon. And this is where what we've been specializing on for the past 30 years or so. Power of Duck Creek with power of NewGen, combining it together to provide a centralized desk for the underwriters, the adjudicators, and others. While they're working on the Duck Creek system, how can they access the documents? How can they make sense of the documents and then work on it? It actually is a perfect combination which gels in together very well.
Excellent, excellent. Some great insights from both sides. Now that we've understood how content and documents flow seamlessly within the Duck Creek ecosystem, let's move to another critical area, customer communication and the role it plays throughout the policy lifecycle. So for this question, the customer communications are very critical from an experience perspective. The NewGen CCM system adds a lot of value during life cycle of the policy. Perhaps for this discussion, let's start with Ritesh.
Thank you, Chuck. You're absolutely right that communications today are so very critical for the experience angle to which where the entire insurance industry is moving. It's moving from operations to experience as such, and fortunately, unfortunately, each and every moment of truth counts. And it's at that moment of truth, if you can send across a very personalized communication with empathy, it will make a lot of difference. And insurance is all about empathy, and it's all about kind of being with the customer at the right point of time. So that's where it all comes in. Um, if you look at it, the experience can be simply in terms of highlighting it in a bigger font for someone who is slightly low on eyesight, or probably just saying a hi or having a privileged customer reflected on a special font or a special color. Personalization can also get into that, uh, simply putting the logo at the right place, using the right things, having a very communicative letter sent across for renewals, or probably doing all of those things. Personalization, or today individualization, is something which can be achieved by the NewGen customer communication management system. And it does add a lot of value in the way it synergizes with the Duck Creek system at the end of the day. Uh, Zach, your points?
Yeah, wholeheartedly agree, Ritesh, and I love that you brought up empathy. Love that you brought up personalization. I think just critical areas of the insurance communication process that can really enhance or if not done well, create a negative experience for that consumer, for that policyholder, for that claimant. I think I'll bring it back to policy, but I think just even calling out at the claim level and the claim process level, I think communications and a good experience during a claim event for that impacted person or for that impacted business is, it's really where the carrier is going to make or break their relationship with their policyholders. If a claim experience is negative for that person or that business, the churn rate, I think, for for that consumer is the data is out there on how they're going to maybe move on and start shopping elsewhere. I think on the policy administration side and around underwriting and things like that. When at Duck Creek, and what we're hearing from our clients today is trying to, I think, just find additional areas that we can personalize and enhance that communications experience. So not just at the documents, personalized letters, other forms of communication that might go out at kind of a default time of a policy being bound or renewed or whatever that is. But what are the other areas that's, touch points can be brought in to just create, again, more of a partnership between the carrier and the consumer. Make it feel like it's two-way. Areas that come to mind are, can an underwriting team utilize their loss control or their risk management department to create an extra area of touch points, of communications, of visiting their location, visiting their place of business, to create more of that partnership and that trust. So just some examples that come to mind is really how can we enhance communications in the experience overall and various areas of the insurance policy lifecycle.
Right.
Thank you both. Now that we've explored communications, let's shift our focus to a topic that's shaping the future of insurance operations, AI, and how it supports specialists across underwriting and beyond. So for this question, with AI coming up, the expectations is that the work of the specialists, such as underwriter, adjudicator, etc., would be simplified. So with this, let's perhaps turn to Zach to share some initial thoughts on this.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a conversation with insurance technology companies without talking about AI and these days, of course. So I'm glad we're tackling it. So I think when it comes to AI within, and I'll speak, of course, from the Duck Creek perspective, just kind of like providing that overview of really what is Duck Creek's AI strategy in the market today. So one of the key points of our AI strategy is around the concept or the notion of agentic AI. And by agentic AI, I'm referring to artificial intelligence that is designed to actually act with a degree of autonomy, with a degree of decision making, and goals and objective pursuits within a workflow, within a business. So it's the term agentic, it's more like an agent rather than just a passive value add tool. So I think unlike maybe some of the traditional AI models that have been available for a while now that might only respond to prompts, agentic AI can really plan, can help take initiative, and it can actually perform actions towards achieving common objectives. When it comes to Duck Creek's agentic AI strategy, it's also important to call out this concept of human in the loop. We believe strongly, and I think our customers believe strongly in, we're going to embed AI into various processes. How do we do that? What does that look like? It's really important. I think we all strongly believe that keeping that human in the loop is critical to maintaining parts of the business and efficiencies and trust within insurance today. So believing strongly that AI cannot just simply and should not simply automate literally everything or take all the actions. A human expert within insurance should still be involved with keeping control of some of those key decision points in the life cycle. I think that human expertise and that judgment it's really difficult to replicate with artificial intelligence, and we're probably approaching that in our near future. But I think within insurance, we've heard from our clients that that's a really important concept when we've been talking with them about AI over the last several years. And so I think as we're talking about human in the loop, you can kind of start at more of a one end of the scale, where maybe that insurance expert, that employee is combining with perhaps a single agentic AI agent to collaborate on their work. Kind of move more towards the middle of the scale when the notion of human in the loop, that expert can combine with maybe multiple AI agents. So in underwriting, maybe that's agents that are focused on OCR, agents that are maybe focused on loss runs, supporting that human in that specific area of the policy lifecycle. And then at the most mature level, it's moving towards a true team effort where that human expert is combining with agentic AI agents across the entire policy lifecycle. So they're being supported with quoting, submissions, rating, fraud, hazards, document needs, to just really automate all the areas that make sense, but still keeping that human in the loop for um, making critical actions, to still have that oversight, to still have that trust within the entire process.
Absolutely, Zach. And uh, we at Newgen are also continuously working to make that experience better. In fact, AI from an insurance perspective, we interpret into a lot of ways, right? From document AI, which is all about extraction, classification of documents, using AI to do that. It's also summarization of the entire work that is there, or so much of details that are there in the documents, which are so critical for the underwriter or uh, the adjudicator and things like that. It also goes to deep learning, where we are using algorithms for loss estimation or fraud analysis and things like that. We move on to NLP, natural language processing, for recommendations, for responding back to the communications that come in a seamless way. And finally, it's all about traditional ML, obviously doesn't go away, where we are using it for product recommendations, fraud analysis, risk analysis. And you rightly mentioned human in the loop is so very critical. And uh, the humans are the actual experts who need to take decisions, who need to underwrite a policy, who need to kind of adjudicate a claim and things like that. So at the end of the day, it's all this AI helping out those humans. And we are working on desktops that work together with Duck Creek in order to kind of aid those humans in order to take the right decisions, uh, nudge them in a proper way so that they are able to kind of take it forward. So these are very interesting topics. Obviously, Duck Creek and Newgen working together, I'm sure would be able to get the best results for uh, the customer as such.
Of course.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you. The discussion's going really, really well here. And so, building on the AI discussion, let's go a level deeper and talk specifically about agentic automation and how it transforms document extraction, categorization, and the overall workflow experience. So let me pose this question. How is agentic being looked at from the document extraction, categorization, and streamlining perspective? Perhaps for
So
this one, let Ritesh, maybe you could like to start on this one?
yeah, I was really eagerly looking forward to this because documents is something that we do really well. And there's so much information in the documents. It was a shame before AI that someone had to go through tons and tons of pages in order to classify them, in order to extract data from them, make sense out of them, and then take a decision. So typically, that's where agentic comes in very handy in terms of extracting data, classifying documents, getting the crux out of it, so that typically what used to take a couple of days can be accomplished in a couple of hours. So the whole operations efficiency goes up when this is done. And that's where we are continuously researching. Obviously, the kind of documents and the plethora of information that is there across the different types of lines of business in insurance obviously demands that specific thing to be extracted and worked around with. So it's a continuously evolving process, and we are really focused on it in order to take it forward. And obviously, the joint working between Duck Creek and Newgen, I'm sure it'll reap the best results. Zach?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think insurance is just so complex across the globe. So many different nuances, complexities, compliance differences across geographies, across territories. So documents, of course, are can take the shape of many different things. Very unstructured to much more formalized to following certain industry or compliance standards, perhaps. So you're right. I think so much time over the span of the years of, say, insurance overall has been spent by an insurance expert combing through what's most important here in this document. What do I need to know? What's going to impact the process in some way? What's going to impact my decision that I need to make here based on this long, lengthy, complex document? So I think while insurance experts are very much trained to find those insights, AI is such to me, an obvious place where it can and already is helping and bringing massive efficiency gains to the human in the loop experts, to give them time back to go focus on more impactful things. Maybe that's focusing more on personalization to reach outs to better communications to those policyholders, like we were just talking about earlier, and saving so much time in their day and their week and their year from things that AI can give really good results and cut down the time drastically on.
Right.
Excellent points, guys, thus far. For our final topic, let's move to the commercial insurance space, an area where policy compilation, compliance, and regional variation can get extremely complex. And how do Duck Creek and Newgen simplify this? So my final question would be, in the commercial insurance, one of the most critical element is to bind the policy from different perspectives. Compilation of the policy across regional compliances, clauses per riders, etc. is a one-time consuming task. So the question is, how does Newgen and Duck Creek work together to overcome this hurdle and provide efficiencies? Perhaps, Zach, you'd like to start on this one?
Yeah, I would. Thank you, Chuck. So I think when it comes to commercial lines, insurance, and specialty, one major value add for Duck Creek and where we fit in the vendor space is that Duck Creek actually maintains a full forms and documents library ourselves for bureau-based commercial lines of business. So especially in North America, some of those key bureaus such as ISO and NCCI and AAIS, we're actually helping our clients in a big way by bringing to the table literally thousands of defined forms, defined documents across all the different jurisdictions that are required. So within the U.S., that's kind of at the state by state level. So major time saver, major part of implementations of systems like Duck Creek, where all those forms, all those documents are such a important part to get right. Duck Creek is able to really bring a lot of that legwork to the discussion already, and have tons of experience around implementing those forms and then actually maintaining those forms, maintaining any changes that need to be made, circulars that are being pushed out by the bureaus. But I think by combining by Duck Creek combining forces with Newgen in this level, I think Newgen brings a lot to the table and a lot of expertise where they sit in the market and where they sit in front of their clients for value added services such as carrier specific documents. What are some of those value add documents and communications that kind of fall outside of the more compliance, the more regulatory requirements when it comes to documents in a policy packet, for example. So I think where Duck Creek can really bring a lot of expertise and value add to the very much that compliance looking set of documents, I very much know that Newgen can and does bring a lot of value and supports and the more of that personalization efforts. And so by Duck Creek and Newgen partnering together, massive assistance and support for all of our joint clients' document needs of all kinds.
Sure, sure. You're absolutely, Zach. In fact, you hit the nail on the and hammer on the nail. Uh, it actually kind of brings in a lot of value additions when it gets to compiling the documents together, personalizing them, and then sending it across. And that saves on a lot of time. It saves on a lot of effort in doing so. And most importantly, from a compliance perspective, it kind of puts in that extra edge in order to make things different and adds value. So that's I think most of it, and we are happy to kind of work together with Duck Creek in order to make it still better, involve AI, and make it really world class.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you both, Ritesh and Zach, for your valuable insights on how insurers can truly amplify the power of Duck Creek through the intelligent content and communication management. And thank you to our audience for joining today's session. We hope this discussion helped you understand how integrated AI-enabled ecosystems can transform efficiency, compliance, and customer experience across insurance operations. We truly appreciate your time, and we look forward to seeing you in future events. Have a wonderful day ahead.
Thank you.
Thank you.